Do you seem to rely more and more on AI? Do you find it hard to resist the urge to ask ChatGPT first before making anything? Could AI actually be rewiring our brain? Going back just a few years, few could imagine just how big of an impact AI would have in our daily lives. More and more see to use AI every day. And it is effective, I get it. It's very effective. I use it myself. But it comes as a price: our mental health. In psychology, there are three main types of addiction. There is the physical one, there is the behavioral one, and then there's the impulse control disorders. In this video, I just want to go through the first two. The physical ones are the most stereotypical ones. They include the illicit drugs, alcohol, and also prescription drugs. These are the ones that if you just stop, you will get withdrawal symptoms. Think nausea, headaches, and even death. But when it comes to AI, it's more an behavioral addiction. Think about the same thing about sex, shopping, internet, gaming, whatever you have. All of these are behavioral addictions. They cause a rush of dopamine in the brain, which means that you feel so good whenever you experience one of these things. And AI is triggering your dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, and it basically affects our mood and also how we feel about ourselves. It's basically known as a feel-good hormone. And it's not without merit that we are chasing these things. We are wired by default to actually chase dopamine. It's what makes us humans, what makes us eat food, because it feels good. And it's hard to stop eating food. Not only do we need it for survival, true, but we also need it for a good rush in our brain. We love it, and that's why you can't stop yourself from reaching out and grabbing that chocolate bar. So thinking about it, we are actually made by default from this side of the nature to chase dopamine. And it comes with a very heavy and strong diminishing return. The more dopamine your brain gets, the more it craves it, but you also need more to get the same high again. There's a lot of neurological explanations, and I don't want to go too deep into it. I could, but that would be a very long video. But just know that if you experience something once, it might feel good, but if you experience it again, it might feel good too, but not as good as the first time, which is why you keep doing it over and over, because you're chasing that first time high. But what does this mean for our society as a whole and as an individual? This is the territory of speculation, and I've been thinking about this a long time. And the more I think about it, the darker my conclusion becomes. I believe that AI is inhibiting our cognitive abilities, and it blunts our emotion even more than technology has already done. Back when I was a kid, this was in 2000s, and there were a ton of other kids around the streets playing and riding on a bicycle, outside playing ball, and we went around and we knocked on the door and asked, could Jimmy play, or could Klaus play, or whoever it was. And this kind of felt like you had friends and camaraderies. Nowadays, all of that has been put into the computer, which is fine actually. There's nothing really wrong with it. I love playing games and being on Discord and talking to my friends that way too. That's cool for me. I love it way more than I love in physical interaction. But the problem now is not really the physical interaction anymore. It is our ability to coherently and articulately produce any outputs, because the prefrontal cortex, the one that is your most intelligent part of the brain, the one that does all your logical thinking for you, is actually, in my opinion, what I believe, and this is not backed up by science yet, but I do believe this is where we're going, will actually keep diminishing. It becomes smaller. Think about it. The old saying is, use it or lose it. So if you don't use your brain, well, it must inherently become smaller, because your body will start using less energy on that, and that's good for it. Then it can use energy anywhere else, or lower your overall energy requirement. So think about it in that way, that you will actually be less and less and less smart because you use the AI to do the thinking for you. And I have seen it. I actually did a funny experiment with ChatGPT. My girlfriend and I went out and we purchased the Plus plan of ChatGPT, and then we went into a Facebook group, and there was a heated argument in a mom group of some sort, and we took our thoughts, our responses to it, and we put it into ChatGPT, and it articulated a response much better than any of us could ever hope to do. This process is so dangerous because next time we had an argument with each other, we both of us, I found out, use ChatGPT to articulate our words for us, so it comes out much clearer and much better. Is this good or is it bad? Well, sometimes it can be good, but in this case I also believe it becomes bad. Does this mean that we should just give up and not use any of this smart technology and AI? No, you should, without a doubt. It's come to stay, and it's going to be revolutionizing the world as we're thinking about it currently. Right now, I'm using it too. As I said, I have become quite happy about it. And am I addicted? I don't know. Hopefully not, because I try to not let it do the thinking for me. But instead of asking ChatGPT, you should probably ask, instead of asking it, write me a paper of 2,000 words of World War II. You should say, how can I write a paper of 2,000 words about World War II? And then we'll outline it for it, but you have to fill in the gaps, because it is a tool to be used, and it can be an incredible efficient tool if used correctly. But don't stop thinking. Don't let it take away your ability for cognitive function, because you will regret it, trust me. And I am sorry to say it, but I think the intelligence of our world, or the people in our world, will actually see a slight decline over the next few generations. But that's my hypothesis. You can agree or you can disagree. What's your thought about AI? Do you like it? Do you love it? Does it help you? I really, really, really want to know whether it helps you or it actually a distraction for you. Do you use it? Why? Why not? I really, really want you to comment down below and say a few words about it, because I'm very fascinated about it, and I think a lot of other people are fascinated about it too. So that's my words on it. Anyway, thank you for this time, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.